basically the same deck. Mono red aggro, a bit of a higher end build, goes all the way up to Fnatic and Mogus, plays Chandra's Phoenix alongside Boros Reckoner, so a bigger build of red aggro. But still, Fire Drink Crusader, Ash Zealots, Rakdos Cacklers, the usual suspects.
Yeah, we don't see this bigger build that often, though. We normally see much lower to the ground ones, be it Boss Sly or Rebel Red, most recently. We don't really see, again, these larger... I mean, when's the last time you really seen Boros right here? Jeez.
It's been a while. It's been a while,
man.
It's been a while. Not good. Not that good against Revelation. Not that good against Black. Medium quality against Blue.
You want to talk about metagames or ecosystems? I remember the Pro Tour that Jerry top-aided and Tom Martell won Pro Tour Gate Crash, where Boros Reckoner was the end boss.
Yeah,
that tournament was probably the best card.
Oh, are you trying to attack with 2 and 3 power creatures? Yeah. You lose the game.
Yeah. You absolutely lose. Also, I'll blow up my Boros Reckoner with Blast Attack. You take 13, and you lose the game.
Yep. It's another odd design. The self-squeeze.
I love
Something
it.
that's a trigger when it's dealt damage plus optional first strike is sort of an odd duck.
Sure.
Do I want this to happen? Both players are kind of uncertain.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we are going to be underway here now. Resendez, Peters, both these players 6 and 1. I think Resendez is looking at a 1-lander, maybe.
He's got a Mutavault.
Okay.
He's good to go. A 1-drop, a Mutavault, a Mountain, and a Lightning Strike.
Somebody's good to go. It's the guy casting Thoughtseize. And if Festus thinks he's playing against Mono Black Devotion, he is very wrong. But we will take a look at a hand of Fire Drink Crusader, a Firefish Striker, along with, I believe that's a Lightning Strike. There's also a Boros Reckoner and a Chandra's Phoenix. So there goes the Satyr.
And for those of you who just assume Thoughtseize is always bad against red aggro, this is a case study on the other side of it. Taking Festus's only 1-drop here makes things much easier for Peters going forward.
There is a Mutavault, pass the turn back. Will Peters over to Resendez. Resendez draws a Shock for the turn. That's a Mutavault. Here is a Firefish Striker. Peters, gonna draw now. This is a Mountain, I believe he's going to play. We'll see for sure. It's just going to be a Swamp and just kick it back right now. He does have 1 Hero's Downfall Assist, also 2 Dreadforce as far as removal is concerned. Also, those 2 Drowned Stars, you don't see those in the main deck very often in Standard, but they're in the main deck here.
Yeah, he can go so big. I mean, he can go all the way up to these Underworld Cerebus and Stormbutt Dragons and Desecration Demons and so forth that he can afford to play Drown and Sorrow main.
There's the Hero's Downfall to take care of that Firefish Striker. This is a Swamp. That is a Desecration Demon. That's really hard for Festus' deck to beat.
At this stage?
Yeah.
Yep, sure is.
Magma Jet's the draw. And what's really funny about this is that William Peters' deck is keeping up appearances very well of not being what it actually is.
Oh, he's given away nothing. He's played Thoughtseize, Hero's Downfall, Desecration Demon, 3 Swamps, and a Mutavault.
Yeah. This feels like playing against Mono Black, and that's not what's going on here at all. Resendez is going to take 6, go down to 14. Yeah, here's another Thoughtseize. And this will be a Magma Jet, I believe, in response to a little scry action here. Peters is going to go down to 16, 14 from the Thoughtseize here when it's all said and done. But Festus is going to take the opportunity to scry. See a Mountain and a Chandra's Phoenix here. Again, this is anything but Mono Black Devotion.
Yeah.
Again, Underworld Cerebus, Stormbreath Dragon, Generator Servant, Dread Boars. Haven't even gotten to the sideboard yet. It is not what Festus thinks it is, unless he's seen William Peters play.
What's pretty awesome here is that, given the way the game's shaping up here, Peters may be able to get out of this without giving away anything. I mean, he can win with the Desecration Demon by itself, most likely. So he may be able to go into the sideboard of games with Festus assuming that he's just a stock Mono Black Devotion list, when in reality he is anything but.
A Shock, 2 Zealots, a Reckoner, a Strike, and a Phoenix are the cards that Peters will look at here. So we'll see what card he does want to take with this Thoughtseize. Light totals are even, but the game state is anything but.
And it's possible that Festus' hand is so bad here that you're supposed to take Shock, which is a pretty depressing state of affairs if you're Festus.
I agree.
Ooh.
And now he's going to play the Generator Servant.
The worm has turned.
Yeah. Here's what I'm up to. This is going to be M15. Very, very good in that limited format.
Yeah, I believe it. It's already a pretty fast format, so 2-power, 2-drop is already something you're playing. I play Bronze Sable in a fair number of my decks, so, you know, whatever. And then get to ramp out some big O's. Some turn 3 Thundermaw Hellkite type of action.
My favorite. Those were the days. See what Festus wants to do here. You can tell he knows he's in some trouble. It's very, very difficult for these red decks to beat Desecration even when they're behind. Keep the board clear. It deals too much damage, closes games out way too fast.
Can't kill it.
Yeah.
So you can only try to race it, and Festus's board is nowhere near equipped to be able to race it. So
Also, if you're lightning striking it twice, that's cool.
yeah.
They're really happy that you're doing that. They're using 2 cards to kill 1. There's Chandra's Phoenix. That thing's hanging back on defense now.
Yeah, not even super clear what the game plan here is from Festus's side.
There's a Brain Maggot. Take a look. Yet again. He says, I want that Ash Zealot, thank you. Now Desecration Demon trigger will be placed in the stack. Looks like that's fine. In for 6 we go. Resendez going to go down to 8.
I'm surprised to see William not fire up the Mutavault. I guess if he's casting another creature, I still think I would have attacked with Generator Servant here. Once you get Festus down to 6, that's the key number.
Yep.
Then Desecration Demon is just the hard lock.
Yep.
Probably doesn't matter. I think Williams is so far ahead here that he's going to win the game regardless, but
Resendez is just going to pass the turn back here. He does have Shock at the ready, and same with Lightning Strike, so does have some ways to interact here. But I'm with you. I would like to, if I'm Peter, it's probably fire Mutavault and just get in there with everybody, even the Brain Maggot.
when you're playing with Desecration Demon, getting in the 2 points of damage is really important in some of these matchups. Mono Red is one of them, because then it's 18 and it's 3 hits.
So Phoenix is going to block there. We're probably going to see, try to just finish this thing off with that plus a shock. But that's not a winning battle. That's the thing. Because there are other creatures out there.
Yeah.
And if Desecration Demon is taking 2, and you can actually say 3 cards because Chandra's Phoenix, that's all you can ask for, a card.
Yeah, there's no real catch-up here. Festus is now at 2, facing down 3 2-power creatures.
And that Brain Magnet that's out there. Yeah, and he's just going to concede the game. So William Peters is going to win game number 1 here over Festus Resendez. Black-Red Generator up a game over Mono-Red Aggro. So we turn our attention to the sideboards, and you've got Resendez in front of you. Looks a lot like what he won with.
3 Searing Blood, 2 Electrickery, a Toil Trouble, 3 Mizium Mortars, 2 Harness by Force, and 4 Skull Cracks. I think, oddly enough, he might have seen enough for Electrickery to come in this matchup. He's seen Brain Maggot and Generator Servant. 3 Searing Bloods should be good in the matchup for the same reason. And I think Harness by Force is going to be good here as well. I'm generally speaking not a fan of it against Black Devotion, but when your opponent is playing with Generator Servant, it's likely that threat and effects are going to be good against them. So I believe when we had Festus in the elimination rounds of the Standard Open, he was bringing in Harness by Force against Black Devotion. And Williams' deck, if anything, is a little more susceptible to that kind of effect.
Take a look over here at Amizium Mortars, 2 Ultimate Price, 2 copies of Rakdos' Charm, a Hammer of Perforos, another Drown in Sorrow, a Hero's Downfall, a Guild, 2 Goblin Rabblemaster, a Whip of Erebos. What else do we have in here? Soul of Innistrad, sure. A Shoal Channeler, absolutely. And then a Night Howler. We're all over the place.
All right, so in this matchup, I am definitely bringing in Soul Channeler.
Yeah, me too.
That is game over if that ever gets into play.
Yep.
Forget about it.
He can accelerate it into play.
Yeah, and I'll take the removal spells too. Just the other removal spells.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
That's all you can do.
This could be, I always talk about debuts of things. Pretty sure today was the debut of Thoughtseize selecting Loxodon Spider. That might have been a debut today.
Yep.
I think that this could be the debut of a Soul entering play. I don't think we've had that yet.
We did in Baltimore.
You did in Baltimore, okay.
We did in Baltimore. We had Eric Smith cast Soul Channeler. He played one in his Green Red Monsters deck because he wanted to see if it was good or not.
What happened?
It was okay.
It's okay.
It was okay, yeah.
Sure.
Definitely wasn't bad.
I think you want to play with those cards with Nykthos.
It's good deck building right there.
That's a combination.
Yeah, that's a good deck building right there. You know where you can play with those cards?
Where?
SCG Game Night.
SCG Game Night coming to you in September. Still sign up for it if you want to. Local stores, 2 pins and 8 foils per week we send out to you. New pins and foils designed each month, every Wednesday night. Format is optional for the store, sanctioned or unsanctioned, whatever you want to do. Casual, focused, and friendly. StarCityGames.com/game night for more information.
StarStreetGames.com/game night. Of course, the hashtag SCGN, excuse me. August 11th is the cutoff date if you want to make it in September.
And you should,
I agree.
because this is going to be pretty sweet.
Who doesn't want those squirrels? You kidding me?
Certainly, players who are new to the tournament scene want to play in a little bit of a more organized event, but not at a cutthroat level of competition and seriousness. This is a program for them, and that's a note that Star City Games is really striking for the first time. So this is exciting stuff.
Coming in September, which is how are we in August?
Right after the
How are we in August? Are you kidding?
happens fast, man. When your life is full of richness and purpose, like me and you, the time just goes by so fast.
I don't even know what I did in July.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what happened.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, LeBron came back.
Yeah, LeBron came back.
I guess that happened.
Blake fractured his back.
Suck it.
Yeah, that's kind of all that's all I really know about.
That's about all I remember is LeBron came back, and I went to a Paramore concert. That was great.
It's pretty fun.
That was really good. And I got to talk about Magic, which is always great.
Yep.
It just goes by really fast. I can't believe it's August 2nd already. Summer is like basically over. That's
true.
horrifying. I guess it's summer all the time in San Diego, but in Seattle, it's almost time for gray skies again. Doesn't last long. Fire Drink Crusader going to start things off here for Resendez. A Blood Crypt. Is this a Thoughtseize too? Oof.
We've seen this opening now twice against Resendez.
Yeah.
Of untapped Ravnica dual land, Thoughtseize you on the draw.
Well, you see the hand there. It's a mountain, along with 2 lightning strikes, a Searing Blood, and a Chandra's Phoenix. People just love to Thoughtseize Resendez on turn 1.
Just can't even help it.
There goes the strike. I hope he doesn't get something Searing Blooded now. That would be embarrassing. There's a land. Here's an attack. See if there's going to be any pumps. Just 2.
I think with my opponent knowing about the burn spell, I think that's a spot where you're supposed to pump for 1.
See if Peter's going to cast a Dreadbore. Also has some mortars in his hand.
Ooh, I like mortars doing that thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You think that's a good play? Take 4?
I like it.
Resendez going to go down to 16.
Here's the thing that I don't like about passing here, with the 2 mana up, is you need to keep the lightning strike in your hand to be able to get back Chandra's Phoenix if it dies. So it's not even like you can go end of turn lightning strike you if Peter says nothing, because you kind of need it as backup.
I can see where you're coming from. Peter's going to play a Swamp Pass the turn back. Rakdos Cackler the draw. Oh, there's a Burning Tree Emissary. Trigger. Now Cackler. Now just an attack here.
Not really necessary for him to tap for the Cackler.
Yeah,
but
it's a little bit surprising with that. Because he has 2 mana floating anyway, so you can still fire for Lightning Strike if you wanted to. Just not being very efficient with his mana. Because he drew Burning Tree Emissary the last turn and could have played Emissary into Chandra's Phoenix. Now here's 2 Dreadbores to get those off the table. So, okay then.
Sure. Keeping his head above water.
Yeah.
And now it's on William to have something like Desecration Demon to kind of mop up what's happened.
Yeah. Mash of the Feast is pretty big right now. There's a Phoenix, going to attack for 2. Peter's going to go down to 10. Stormbreath Dragon's pretty good. Draws a Mutavault. Does he have a big threat to put into play? There's a Mana Confluence, and yeah, it looks like the answer is no as far as a big threat is concerned. So Resendez is just going to draw, play a Mountain, attack here for 2. Peter's going to go down to 8. Pass it back.
And now even one of his big creatures probably doesn't get it done.
Yeah. See Blood Crypt. I think this hand is just lands at this point. Could fire Mutavault if he wants to. Well, this is going to be a big creature, presumably. It's Underworld Cerebus, but this is probably too late to the party.
Yeah.
His Lightning Strike's going to go upstairs. So Peter's going to go down to 5, return the Phoenix. There you do see Underworld Cerberus, 6/6 for 5. Real tough to block.
Yeah, and I think at this point he's trying to say, can you get the Phoenix back when the Underworld Service in play? It's not targeting.
Yeah.
It just triggers, so.
Yep. And he doesn't target that with Lightning Strike or anything for that matter. So.
Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah, just wants to make sure, of course, that this works the way that it needs to work. Oh, interesting. Josh Gagnon at JGagnon94. Wondering if we can see a deck tech about the Black Red Generator deck. Oh. Spoiler alert, maybe.
It's almost like we're way ahead of you.
Here's an attack for 4. Peter's just going to go down to 1. And we want to take a look at the Underworld Cerberus one more time, make sure you know exactly what it does. Basically, it's a very difficult to block 6/6. That's really what it is.
I was checking to see if there was another Mortars left over because William could potentially catch up, but he has played his 1.
Resendez looks like he may play a land. He's actually going to play Fire Crusader before passing the turn back. Last card in Festus' hand is a Searing Blood. Peters is going to pack it up and pack it in, as Festus Resendez is able to tie things up here. And Mono Red Aggro versus Black Red Generator are going to head to a 3rd game.
That would have been a really good turn to have Mizium Mortars.
You are not wrong. That would kill everything and deal 4 more points of damage.
And then the Cerberus hits him down to 6, and then, it's top deck or bust.
Who knows what happens then? Actually, it's pretty clear. Top deck or bust is what would happen.
Yep.
See if either player's going to go back to the sideboard. It looks like Festus is going to move some cards out. William Peters is going to take a look now as well.
Well, it's interesting, Festus had Searing Blood in his hand there the entire game. Could reasonably expect for it to be good in the matchup based on what he saw at William's deck, but William had none of his small creatures, no Brain Maggots, no Generator Servants, so it wouldn't surprise me if Festus was changing that around a little bit.
Being on the play and the draw is very different in this matchup.
That's another factor as well.
Now, as you know, there's a Grand Prix coming up soon, October 11th and 12th, Grand Prix Orlando. I'm looking forward to it. There's a
3, 4, 5.
Excuse me?
States is 11, 12.
Oh, thank you. You, look at you. 3, 4, 5. I blew it.
So up to date on my promotional material.
I blew it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Normally, I'm pretty good about it. I blew it. You know, I'm going to get this one right. There are benefits for VIPs. And you should be a VIP if you go.
Yeah, because Grand Prix get pretty crowded. I don't know if you've ever done it, but towards the end of the day, elbows banging into each other, play mats just strewn out all over the place, Fritos, chips start scattering.
Pens that have been left behind.
Sleeves, leftovers from people's decks.
Don't grab those pens, by the way. Most of the people chew on them, so don't grab them.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
VIP rewards, charging station, water station, private pairing, side event concierge, all the pins that you see here. Some of them are given out, as for signing up or for playing in certain side events or playing in certain events. You get all of them up front, so if you're just focused on playing in the main event or don't want to have to worry about trying to flag them down, those all come. You get a lanyard, water bottle, the whole shebang. So make sure to look into that.
We'll see you there, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yep.
I got there that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's key to get these dates correct. We do so many things, sometimes I mix the dates up.
Yep.
But Patrick is here to make sure that I get it right.
Some percentage of the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not batting 100 either.
But Grand Prix Orlando is going to be a lot of fun in October, and we're almost in September when game night starts, so October will be here in just a minute.
Yep.
That's for sure. Won't take long at all. I haven't been to... Man, Orlando was second week of the year in January. That's when we did that show. Tyler Wilkerson almost went back-to-back.
It's true.
That's the last time we were there, so
A
we'll be there again soon.
win in the top 4.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there soon. So that's cool. Looks like maybe a slip up here with deck shuffling and cards supposed to be somewhere. So both players are being extra careful, make sure nothing bad happens. But looks like we're okay.
Yeah, card accidentally revealed. Clearly no malicious intent there, but just want to make sure we got our spotters there. Judge floating around the pit, make sure nothing untoward happens.
I got some good beards for spotters this weekend.
Yeah.
Both the judges that have been spotting have some intense beards. Just healthy. Healthy beards.
Yep.
It's time to start this shindig.
Nice opening hand for Festus
Yeah,
here.
his hand's really, really good. Oh, Thoughtseize going to try to blow it up.
Now this is one of the spots where Thoughtseize is not very good because Festus's hand is very redundant.
A lot of 1-drops, 2 Cacklers, and a Fire Dragon Crusader, along with a Challenger's Phoenix, and then Searing Blood to take care of Generator Servant if it shows up.
Take care of the Searing Blood if, Peters has a creature he's trying to deploy. Could take the Phoenix if it's about raw power.
It seems very telling that he has a creature to play if that's what he takes with the Thoughtseize.
Could be Brain Maggot as well.
Yeah. Mute Vault the draw. This is the Blood Crypt on tap. Peter's going to go down to 16. Is it time to generate? It is.
So Peters here has taken 2 off the Thoughtseize. He's taken 2 off his land. And we'll see if he's able to make it all up.
That's a mountain. We knew about that one. Cackler is going to come into the red zone, of course. And it's just going to be a block. Okay.
Trying to trade off a little bit.
Yeah. There's a Satyr. And there is a Cackler. Temple of Malice was the draw. Going to play a Mutavault, pass the turn back. Now, one thing that Peters has, he has 2 main deck Draining Sorrows and a 3rd one on the sideboard. We haven't even seen one of those yet, so you have to imagine Resendez has no idea that's coming, if it ever does come.
Yeah, I would be stunned if I was on Festus' side of the table. I mean, maybe not in the post-board games, but even still, Peters has played enough small creatures where it would be unexpected.
Here's Downfall, takes care of the Ash Out. Now there's Desecration Demon. That's exactly where you want to be. Resendez is going to untap and draw a card very quickly. This is a Firefish Striker. That's really good against Desecration Demon. So, Resendez just passes the turn back. Peters is at 12. He's going to play that Temple of Malice. Take a look at the top card. That's going to the bottom.
I feel like this one's going to be close. If William has a removal spell here, he's in really good shape.
He's got 3 mana. He's got a Master of the Feasts. Huh. And now he's attacking. Oh, well, he'd like to attack.
And turn up the heat here. I mean, this is...
Those things are huge.
Yeah. If there's any matchup where Master of the Feast is going to do some work, it's mono red aggro.
Yeah.
I mean, 5/5 flyer for 3 is outrageous. They don't have a lot of ways to punish you for it.
All right. Peter says, I'm getting in there. Let's go.
It's a gutsy race.
Resendez draws a mountain right off the top of the deck. 3 mana. It's a Phoenix. And it's time to get the attack on. I think it's got to be everybody here.
I mean, no, you can't really defend.
Yeah, no blocks allowed. Attack rate puts you down to 4. Draw a card. Is there any way for William Peters to get out of this one? I mean, he can attack for 11, but that's only if Festus Resendez lets him.
Yeah.
And so we do have to make sure, of course, that Resendez does draw a card because Match of the Feast does cause the opponent to draw a card. It's not just 3 mana 5/5 flyer.
No, there's a drawback.
At some point, we'll probably have 3 mana 5/5 flyers, but not yet.
I imagine that this is Williams' trigger to announce.
I agree.
It's his card.
It's his card, yeah. So I imagine some sort of warning will be issued because of this. But yeah, Resendez will get his card. So glad we were able to catch that.
I wonder if Peters was supposed to hold back last turn with Desecration Demon.
It felt pretty aggressive. I mean, he couldn't block in the first place because there were already 3 creatures out there, but it did feel pretty aggressive.
Well, at least, you know, it gets to the spot where if Festus does want to attack, at least he loses the Firefist Striker, and then you have a lot of control over combat the following turns.
Yeah. So, there will be a sacrifice of a creature there. Firedrinker Satyr bites the dust.
Festus is making quite a name for himself here. Open
He's been doing
series
a lot of
win
winning
and,
with this red deck. Yeah, this is a Fanatic, isn't it? Yeah, because he quickly put that land into play. And there's your Emissary first. And here's your Fanatic second. That's for a whole lot more than 4. That's what that is, and that's going to do it. Festus Resendez is going to win this match. A little bit of fist pump, too. He was on a 7-1 with mono red aggro. Still 3 rounds to go. We got a lot of tournament left here, but he's off to another fantastic start.
And this is a deck that